Hi, welcome to our video of setting up the Clipper. This is the Clipper Classic 1765 ST. If you're renting one or you own one, this video will help you set it up. First, we're going to set it up right here in this grassy area where we have found that it is safe. First thing I do is put down our docking trailer deck and then put down and attach our wheel. We want to make sure that this part of the wheel is turned this way so that when it's attached to the trailer it can go down all the way. You loosen this part . Get this one. And tighten it. It's a compression fitting, so it's gonna grab onto this, and you want to go pretty much as tight as your hand can put it on, and then go just a little bit more like that. So now I know we have enough space to jack this up using the jockey wheel. Next up, we would need the keys to unlock. Now that it's unlocked from the ball, we want to also take our safeties off and the electric from the car, because we're going to be removing the trailer from the car. And then you'll be able to drive the car away if need be. So there's two safeties, and then this is I think a emergency braking system. And then we've got the ball unlocked, so when I turn this, it should lift it up if I turn it the right way. Yep, here we go. I can feel the car rising. And this is gonna take it off there. There we go. And definitely want to get high enough so that you can see the ball. Then when you're driving away, you're not going to accidentally take the trailer with you. I'd go a good inch above the ball, because this trailer dock will keep it from sinking, and that is key. If you didn't have the trailer dock, it could be sinking into the car, and if you lifted this up, waited a few minutes, sunk into the ground, and then you tried to drive away, you'd take the trailer with you. Alright. So after you jack up the trailer to take your car away, we're going to lower it back down to get it more level so it's safe to set up the camper. Before you go crazy lowering it and guessing, you can come over here and take a look at your level. There's actually a level on the outside of the camper that's located right below this safety lamp, and you can see that we're not even close. So let's go ahead and try to get level.
I'll let you know.
Coming down with it on this side?
Yep. Right there.
Alright. That's perfect. You don't have to go too crazy, because on any uneven surface you're never going to perfectly level. Alright, now that we've leveled the trailer front to back and gotten it pretty level, we're going to try to level it and stabilize it with the 4 feet that are on each 4 sides of this camper. The tool that you need is right here in our storage bay, and it comes like this. Follow me. You're gonna take this unique tool and slide it right into this guy like this. And then simply turn it so you can see that the foot has pretty much grabbed the ground. It's going to crush all the grass, and you're going to put just the smallest amount of weight on that foot. Again, you're not trying to jack up the trailer with this, you're trying to stabilize it, and that's it. And we're going to repeat this step on all 4 sides. So we're lowering the 4th and final leg. Again, you can, if you find yourself a surface that is not as solid and flat as this, although we're on uneven ground here, it's a good example that campgrounds are going to be uneven. You don't want to obviously be on a super rocky or a cliff or anything, but as long as you're on a pretty much flat surface, you're just bringing these feet down and you're grabbing some earth and getting it to touch so that it stabilizes, so that when you're walking in it and sleeping in the camper, it's not going to tilt or go place to place. Again, you don't want to put a ton of weight on these, you're just stabilizing. And this is the last one. All right, now that we have the trailer leveled front to back, we have all 4 legs down, stabilizing the trailer. We are on slightly uneven ground, but it's safe because we've got the stabilizing 4 feet and it's pretty level here. So we're going to unclip and jack up the pop-up. This is the fun part. We're popping up the pop-up. We're going to unlatch 4 of these, okay? First one's here. Second one is at this end. This one has a small carabiner in it. It could be replaced with a small lock if you didn't want to, if you wanted a little bit more secure. It's very important to make sure that these are not attached when you try to pop up the pop-up. For obvious reasons, you can break the gears and the pop-up mechanism. So that's our 3rd one. And then there's just one more over here. And it looks like we unlatched it earlier. So this is done. Now, this is the fun part. Go into our storage, grab this tool. Looks just like this, and it fits right over here. This square is going to receive this square end. And again, we can make sure that there's nothing on top of the pop-up and that you remember all 4 hitches are down, and we're going to start cranking it. There's a little sticker here that tells us if we want it to go up, we're going to go this way. All right, as you're popping up the pop-up, you're going to notice this green cord here. This cord is just to tell us that we are where we're at in the process. Clearly there's a lot of length left. You definitely want to partner when you're doing this, and so when you start to open it up, you'd like your partner to go around, make sure that you're not accidentally grabbing any part of the canvas and stretching it. Make sure it's clean and nothing is in the way. And again, we're going to keep cranking till this is not tight, but straight. And we'll give you a good example of that. All right, so this is actually a really good example where it's not grabbing it and where it's tight, but it is straight. And you're about as high as you need to be to get this pop-up popped up. All right, so now we're gonna pull out the 2 king-size beds. This model has really big beds and they call for certain types of support. Also, after we pull the beds out, getting access to the storage area, which is super nice, it's not gonna be as easy. There are side panel access doors on each side like this, that you will be able to still access some of the tools or flashlights or different things that you might need. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that stuff and grab a couple things. Most importantly, the next step would be to put these two on opposite corners of the pop-up. This is to make sure that the pop-ups, if any weight or that the roof does not collapse. If any weight does come upon the roof, that it wouldn't collapse or hurt anyone. So I usually put it on this corner. And it just fits in there like that. Tuck it, you tuck this sharp part, here I'll do it again just one more time. You kind of guide that sharp part, kind of tuck up in there, and then clip it on. And it should just look just like that. And that is a support. And then what I'm going to do is bring this one to the opposite side. Again, taking the sharp part and gliding it up in there and clipping it on. And then we're going to make our way back to the storage area to get out our full legs for the beds. Now, notice that there's the white ones and the black colored ones. The black colored ones are going to stay on this side by the trailer hitch side by the storage side. The white ones, you're going to follow me back. We're going to put them back here. So let's go. So before we pull the beds out, you want to put the supports for the beds in. Again, like I said earlier, the white side goes on the back side, these white frame support holders, and you want to put the straight edge goes into the bumper down here, right below the license plate on this side, and then comes up and hooks into the crevice that's right here. And what you should get is a straight line with the support going into the frame of rubber. You do that and repeat that on this side. Now we're able to pull out this king size bed onto the supports. Underneath, you're going to see a couple more things. This hook holds the bungees when we straighten out all the canvas, and this also holds another support that we're going to go get, and I'll show you in a second. Again, the black ones are for the hitch side, and then you have long supports and short supports. The long supports go in the back, and the short ones stay here with the black. So the white and the long go on the back side. Once you make your way under here, you stick it into the bumper, and you're going to have to pull this out more. Let's see. There we go. And you lift up the bed just a tidbit, and you place it back down. Second one goes in here. Lift up the bed. Place it back down. So now we're going to bring the king size bed out on the other side that comes over the propane tanks. So to make our lives a little bit easier, we're going to unbungee the propane tanks. There's just a couple of bungees keeping the cover on, and this should come off. And if you're going to use the heater or the stove, this is the time to check that there. tight, and then you can just open both of them. So putting the black bed supports in on the tongue side, on the trailer hitch side, we're going to put it into the hole that is closest to the propane tanks, bring it over, and then there's also another obvious spot for that to clip in. If you go all the way, you can see that right there. Now you have enough support to bring the bed out. And if you do want extra support, you could go have your partner take a look in the inside of the camper, make sure that things are coming out properly, you haven't snagged or caught anything. You don't want to over pull. So if you feel some sort of resistance, come back here, take a look at maybe it's caught on something. You don't want to just keep pulling and tearing anything. Just like this. I've caught something is not. Something is keeping me from bringing it all the way out. So I'm coming inside here, taking a look at the mechanics, trying to figure out what it would be. It seems like it just needs maybe a little push.
You gotta pull it out straighter.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was not straight. Now that we are pulling out straight, it comes out nice and easy. Now there's other two supports. This one's going to go into the tongue part right by the propane tank. We're going to again push up on the bed and have it catch on that hook. Okay. All right, after we have both of the king size beds out, supported, we're going to pull the kitchen out. That's going to give us space once we go into the interior of the pop-up to start bringing the canvas supports out. And we also, once all the canvas supports are out, we're going to start wrapping them around, velcroing them, getting a nice good seal. But to start with, pulling the kitchenette out, you're going to take this, turn it this way, and you also want to make sure that on the other side there's two gate hooks that are not holding it in place anymore. Obviously, since I pulled it, the gate hooks are now not being held in, and this will pull straight out. And now we're pulling back into those gate hooks on the other side. That should hold it secure, and it shouldn't move back anymore.
Want to show us those?
Yeah.
I'm gonna head to the house.
Okay. There's one right there, and it should catch it. So now that we've got the kitchenette pulled out, we're going to put the supports up in the canvas all along. Start with the kitchenette. There will be a small bar underneath the cushions that you can put back into here. And then if you look closely, there'll be a little kind of a metal peg there that holds it in place. And you'll get yourself a nice looking kitchenette. The kitchenette also is a, what is this, like a full-size bed, maybe a little bit bigger than a twin. 2 small kids could stay on there. And now we're gonna do the king-size bed support over here. And underneath this bed should be our support. Attach it in and pull it back, and then there'll be 3 different holes or 3 different pegs. I usually go with the middle one or the one that feels the best. We'll go on this side, just moving some of our curtains out of the way, our love seat cushion, put our kitchen back into place. Kitchen sink, the stove. Also, for any of the lights to work in the pop-up, this button here does have to be pressed down, so it's kind of like a safety issue. Well, the electrical won't work if you've got the kitchen sink and stove down. It's kind of a sign to the pop-up that you are not using it and that it's in travel mode. So just making sure that our sink is set, sink and stove. This piece does not have to come off. It can stay attached. It can stay attached right here. If it does come off, you can easily clip it back in. And then again, that's our, it goes in the middle here. Take our long piece, pull it up. This long piece gets stored underneath the bed usually. You want to put it under here. We also have those that can be hung above the kitchen for like the pantry to hold some of your utensils and food while you're camping. So that we have all the canvas supports up, and we're going to start to zip up now all the sides and get a nice good seal. Here's a good example. I'll do this one for you, and then we're going to do the rest probably off camera. You're going to want to, it's really pretty much just like a zipper. You might need to tug it, pull it just a tidbit, because we are on level ground here. It's nice and tight on this side, and I don't want to, definitely don't want to force it. I want to bring it nice and snug, and then that'll Velcro on the other side to give us a seal. And you do that in about 5 other places. All right, so if, on the inside, if you have your partner zipping up the inside, you'll have yourself or someone else, your partner coming out the outside, making sure that this one comes all the way nice and down, and then Velcros in, creating a nice seal so that there's no bugs, and you can run that air conditioning and that heat, and keep the cool air in and the hot air out. And you want to repeat that step in 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 locations, because you got the bed sides and then this. Then we're moving on to taking the canvas, and check this out. This is where you want to find the bungees, and the bungees are going to come under and hook into here, giving you again a nice seal so that bugs have no place to enter. And there are 3 on each side of the bed, so that should probably be 12 total, so 6 per bed. And it's real simple. You pull this over. Sometimes it gets flipped up and caught into the bed like I just did now, but you find it, grab the bungees and hook them into these metal hooks down here. All right, the last and kind of final hard part to getting the frame of the futon, or the camper setup would be the door. And the door gets stored up here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 button straps. It would be great to have a partner, but as I'll show you that you don't necessarily need it. You just have to kind of use a little bit more arm strength to hold it up. And then make sure that it doesn't fall down on you like it could. And then it will slide, come down and slide over. Yeah. Sliding over here. You're gonna look for these hooks. Let's try to get the camera in here. You see, this is where it's gonna Velcro on both sides of the door, and then this plate is gonna get under those hooks, and it takes a little bit of. Actually, I think what I usually like to do is kind of put it out and then pop it back in. And then sometimes this does happen where these don't line up perfectly, but then I start to get the Velcro in. Put the door in. And then I don't know if you guys can see this, but try to bring the frame of the door back and then go ahead and put that into place. Same over here. Frame the door in, and then make sure that your Velcro is going to be attached on the inside, and then you go outside and attach it. Come on out. Attach your Velcro out here. And when this is not being used, there is a clip to hold that door here. And that's the door. Alright, so just in case you do use the toilet, we don't use it for number 2s. That would be quite a mess. I guess in an emergency maybe. But for number 1s, definitely. At night, it's super convenient, and that's why the toilet is here, especially with the little guys. This is basically like a suitcase. You're going to, if somebody has used the washroom, sometimes I pour actually a little clean water down there to rinse it, get it all into our case here. And this is another way that you can clean it out. But this is just comes out just like that. It connects in, and then you can actually wheel it over and dump it out in the toilet, actually, because this will come out like this. Unscrew this, and then you tilt it over that way, and then to put it back, you put it back into place, lock it in, make sure it's secure, that it's connected to the plumbing, and close it back. Alright, so now most of the camper, if not every little piece, is up. And we're going to go through basically taking it down. The other things that you might want to do is plug it in and hook water up to it. Those things are pretty simple, and they are on the other side of the camper. Again, you can always, if you're renting from me, you can always call me. And if you are another clipper owner, then you'll have to find another video. But we're going to take this down, and the first steps that we probably do is undo the supports, almost starting from what we're doing is, you're going to unvelcro and unzip everything. Take your supports down. The main thing that you are looking for when you're putting things away is to be able to have the canvas come down slowly, cleanly, and be tucked away. And then when you're pushing the beds in, you're not getting the canvas stuck on the beds. So you definitely want to start with the door, taking the post down, and then unzipping all this, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. now that you've enjoyed your camper, it's time to take it down and time to go home. What you want to do is clean up and get all the dirt out, and then start to reverse everything that you did earlier. We took the bungees out, and now we're going to take the supports out. Again, you lift up, pull out. Again, when you're setting up or taking down, take your time. It is new to you. Take your time. It cannot be rushed. Oh. So another method I like to do is just kind of squat, pull it out. Makes it easier. It's little things like that that'll take time. Now the other thing I do is clean off the top as much as you can. If you leave wet leaves in there, you're going to leave stains. You want to dry it off. If there's any moisture, any water, you want to get it as dry and clean as possible when you're putting it away. Think about putting something wet and dirty back into a bag and letting it sit there. You don't want that. You want it dry, you want it clean, take your time. It also might be helpful to have your partner stick their head in while you're pushing the beds back in. So I know that we went inside, took the support down of the bed canvas, took the long pull out, put it underneath the mattress, and now we're going to push this in just a little.